Do you want to score goals like this, but then end up missing easy goals like those? Well then, did you ever think of your finishing being insufficient? Maybe you're not using the right shooting technique in a certain situation. Well, don't worry. With this video, I'll be showing you all of the finishing techniques and how we can get the most out of them in proper situations. Towards the end of the video, I'll be also revealing my secret favorite method this year that allows me to score many goals than before. Let's get started. Before we start with the specific finishing techniques, we will take a look at the new feature that affects the finishing directly, which is the precision shooting. Some of the players have been complaining about the assisted shooting being complete garbage and they miss easy goals. If you're one of them, now you have an option to correct this. As you create scoring opportunities in the game, you will now have the option to take advantage of precision shooting. This shooting mechanic demands that you sharpen your aim when setting up a shot. It will also increase the power of the shot, meaning the ball will head towards the target at faster speeds. Compared to the default assisted shooting, you are more in control of choosing the direction of the shot. That means you will have to aim perfectly with your left analog stick while shooting, and the input will be directly reflected with your shot. Let's understand the main difference between the assisted and precision shooting. With the assisted shooting, you choose one of the sides to shoot to. The direction of the left stick doesn't have to be exactly towards the goal, you just pick a side and go for the shot. With the precision shooting, however, you can't do that. You have to aim directly towards the goal, otherwise it will go miles out. This example perfectly defines the difference. Here we have precision shooting enabled. Take a look at the left stick's direction. If the setting would have been assisted, the shot would have gone towards the far post because you have chosen the upper side with the left stick. However, with the precision shooting, it only counts where your left stick directly points at, and that is why the ball goes towards the near post. Aiming is extremely important. To enable precision shooting, go to Settings menu and look for the Gameplay Settings option. After entering it, scroll down to find the Shoot Assistance option. Once you do, set it to Precision from default. The question is, should you actually use the precision shooting? There is no right answer to that if precision shooting or assisted shooting is better. Both have their advantages and disadvantages, and it's actually all about if you're willing to take your time and become better at it, because you need a bit of patience with it. If you think you don't want to use it, just don't turn it on. Personally, I don't use it because I have no problem so far with the assisted shooting, but my other two colleagues here on the guide wanted to test a new option at the start of the game, and they were able to get used to it directly and have been happily playing with that since then. We all still play on the elite level of the game, which shows both options are usable, and it's all up to you if you want to switch to it. Let's move on to our first real finishing technique, the finesse shot. With this method, your player shoots the ball with the inside of his foot and adds a fancy curve to it so that it becomes harder for the keeper to catch it. To be able to perform a finesse shot, hold on to your R1, RB button and power it up with your shooting button. Very simple. They work incredibly fine both in 1 versus 1 situations and from the distance. Whenever you can get the ball towards your player's strong foot, feel free to give your shot a little curve by using the finesse shot. Preparing the perfect finesse shot, however, has a little trick. You need to set your player with an angle between 30 and 45 degrees towards the goal. With this angle, you can aim for the perfect finesse path, and that will surely enhance the curve. In a very simple example, we get past the opponent here, and just because I know I want to go for a finesse shot, I don't go straight forward. Instead, give myself an angle which favors my strong foot, and as the keeper comes out, I finish the position with a finesse shot. With FC24, playstyles were introduced, and there's also a playstyle for finesse shot. Players with this playstyle are extremely dangerous, especially if they have the Finesse Plus. You can see those playstyles on the player page, and whenever you try to execute that specific mechanic, they will glow above the player's head. So definitely look out for them, and if you have players with Finesse playstyle, fear no distance, take a look at the goal and go for a finesse shot. The question is, how much power do I need with the finesse shots and where do I aim at? If you're using assisted shooting like I do, you can just choose one side with a left stick angle around 45 degrees towards the goal. This usually is the optimal direction. The power changes depending on the distance from the goal. In the box, you can score any finesse shot with a power around 2 bars. However, the distance shots require more power. That is why I recommend shots with around 3 bars of power. This year, Finesse Shot is one of the core elements of the meta. That is why we created a detailed in-depth tutorial about it almost a month ago on our application guide plus. If you want to know these kind of elements before everyone else, make sure to check the links in the description and live a better FC24 experience. Let's head to the next one. There will be times where you will find it hard to get the ball towards your strong foot, but don't worry, there is indeed a perfect method to use in those situations as well. This finishing technique is called the outside foot shot. To be able to perform an outside foot shot, hold on to your L2, LT button and power up a shot while the ball is closer to your weak foot. This will help you avoid using your weak foot and instead shoot with the outside of your stronger one. In my opinion, it is as strong and reliable as finesse shots in the current state of the game. The trick for the outside foot shot is to aim a bit further away from the far post. Don't worry, with the curve this method itself gives, it will reach the goal and get in if you use it correctly. Here's an example. I get the ball inside the box with a left-footed player. However, the defender is on the path towards his left foot, so I will have to get the ball towards his right foot, even if my player has 3 stars weak foot. However, that is no setback for me, and I hold on to the L2, LT button while shooting so that I can execute an outside foot shot. The answers to where to aim and how much power is needed is the same with the finesse shots. Make sure to remind yourself of the distance. Of course, there's a playstyle again which enhances this shooting type, and it's called Trivela. It gives your outside foot shot a better curve and with that an accuracy. So if you have players with that playstyle or even playstyle plus, make sure to try this method out. Those two are very strong, but they're not the only finishing types you will need. Sometimes you need power to beat the keeper, and that is why we have power shots since last year. To be able to execute a power shot, hold on to your both L1 R1 or LB RB buttons together while shooting. There are 2 things you need to watch out for with this method. Aiming with your left stick is extremely important as power shots get aimed manually. It is very easy not to hit the goal with it if you use your left stick carelessly. Secondly, your player will need some time to prepare the power shot and becomes vulnerable for tackles in that time. You either need some space and time before you go for a power shot or a player with a playstyle Powershot Plus. Powershot Plus significantly reduces the time penalty of this method and you shoot the ball rapidly as if you're going for a normal shot. In this case, for example, I get the ball in a free space with a player with the Powershot Plus, tell myself why not give it a try and go for a power shot. Even though keeper was placed well, he deflects the ball then just because of the power of the shot, and I've seen this happen in multiple occasions. However, I still don't think that the power shots should be considered as a strong technique, and I would rather advise you to focus on the other ones. Next up, we have a very situational method that was very strong in previous titles but fails to impress me in this one, which is the chip shot. It allows us to make the ball fly over the keeper if he tends to get out of his goal. You need to hold on to the L1, LB button while shooting to chip the ball over the keeper. However, like I've said, it is very easy to fail with it. You might fail with the chip shot if you're too close to the goal. If the keeper baits you as if he is coming out and then gets back, then you might fail again. From my experience, it's only viable to go for a chip shot once the keeper completely overcommits with coming out of his goal. Once he does that, make sure to chip the ball towards the far post so that he won't be able to get a single touch to stop it. Here, I get the ball behind the defensive line and expect the keeper to come out. He exactly does that, and just because I've given myself a little angle towards the lower side, I find it very easy to chip the ball over the keeper towards the far post and score an easy goal. Now that we've seen the finishing techniques, I will show you how to empower them. In my opinion, this method takes the finishing to another level. Yes, I'm talking about the time finishing. Time finishing is a high-risk, high-reward mechanic that could either enhance your shot or blow everything up depending on your performance with it. The mechanic is simple. Once you power up a shot, you have to press the shooting button a second time as your player is about to hit the ball. If you can time this correctly, you'll see that the cursor above your player's head glows green. This will give the ball a better accuracy and speed towards the goal. If you can't time it correctly, it will either glow red or gray, and that means you need to practice more on it to get a better feeling on it. The way I advise players to practice it is to get yourself first into an offline match, such as squad battles, and only focus on the mechanic itself, then try it out against real players in online matches. Trust me, with time you will surely get a better feeling and talent on it, and it will be much more natural to you. Time finishing can be used with different finishing methods that we have previously showed you and will greatly increase the success rate of any shot. Practice makes it perfect. And finally, I want to give you my favorite method for the finishing this season. I feel like every other season this gets changed, but with FC24, near post shots became stronger than ever. Even if sometimes it looks incredibly hard, they go in magnificently. One of the reasons that I prefer near post shots is that because players tend to move their keeper towards the far post and open the near one. Even without that, the near post shots are strong. To make them more consistent, I advise you to use the green time finishing and make sure you blast the ball in. Whoa, we learned quite a lot about finishing today, but well, you know it. At the end, your opponent is going to score with a cutback from 3-meter distance. But what if I told you that you can prevent that from happening? Do you want to learn it? Then definitely watch out the video that appears on your screen right now, which shows you how to defend those cutbacks and 2 further meta attacking mechanics. You don't want to miss it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next one, take care and peace.